Hello. I am Aslan Uarziaty. There are many worlds in the universe. Worlds like ours are the womb of the universe, where souls are born and grow through teachings and tests. Now our civilization has completed a full teaching cycle. Throughout this cycle, souls were born and died each time in a new life, in a new body. In this way, they went through the school of life. The sole aim of which was to raise their soul level, so that everyone would overcome the human-like biorobot, with animal instincts within them. Develop their own opinion and consciousness into an independent I in order to learn, to draw their own conclusions. Make sensible decisions with their own mind and conscience, without listening to authorities, or looking to the programs set by society, education, and the media. Conscience is the voice of God within each of us. The complete cycle of our civilization consisted of 9 small cycles, each of which ended with minor cataclysms, catastrophes, and destruction. They are mistakenly thought of as extinct civilizations, but in reality they are different cycles of our civilization, in which our souls lived and learned. As soon as the spiritual level of the world fell critically behind the technological level, one cycle was ended by a destruction, and the next cycle began. Throughout all these small cycles, the program of the divine matrix has created the conditions for each soul to experience darkness and light, giving everyone the choice to evolve spiritually, to grow to the next level of the world, or to stay put and live their lives in vain. And now we have reached the end of the complete cycle. Towards the end of this cycle, the last book from above was revealed to our world. This happened at the end of 2019, and with this revelation, the teaching time has ended and the exam time for every soul, and the entire civilization has begun. The book was revealed in Russia, as foretold in the first chapter of Revelation. Deliver it to the 7 churches in Asia. For 3.5 years, the message was delivered to the people of Russia. This is Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. And if the majority of them had accepted the gift of God, another prophecy would have been fulfilled. Namely, that the liberation of the world would spread to the whole world, following the example of Russia. But Russia has still not accepted the gift of God, and the servants of the religions have also not looked into the prophesied open book mentioned in the Revelation of John. But other peoples have also been given clear indications of the signs by which they can recognize the end times. 1.5 years ago, the book began to be distributed around the world. In the meantime, the book has been translated into many languages. During the current exam time, some prophecies have already come true, which should help people to realize that the day of judgment is getting closer and closer, so that it's absolutely necessary to develop your soul in time and unite against the abyss. The 7 golden lampstands, which consist of the 7 divine number tables, are depicted in the book. In ancient engravings, they were depicted as stars, as 7 lampstands, or as 7 candles, which are found in the book. These are not simple combinations of numbers. They are the frequencies of the new world, expressed by numbers, which gradually began to displace the frequencies of the old world, helping people to recognize the truth and develop their consciousness to such an extent that they can move into the new cycle. The level of the tables is proof of the manifested gift of the Almighty to help people in the last days. It's intended to give them an unshakable faith and the necessary strength to unite in the face of the abyss and recognize the need to free themselves from the influence of illusions and the programs imposed on them. But everyone must make the choice for themselves. It's up to each individual to decide to walk the path of light, to take action, and to listen to the voice of their own conscience. In these last times, all boundaries of what is permitted have been removed. There are no longer any authorities or leaders to show people the way and guide them. People must realize that they have no one but themselves. They must unite with each other in these end times, take responsibility for everything that happens on their shoulders, and throw off the collar of slavery. In this so-called exam time, the final battle between darkness and light takes place in the souls of every human being. In August 2021, an immaterial sacred temple was built from the 7 lampstands, which was also foretold. Its appearance marked the beginning of the passage of time for the imminent coming of the messenger, who will complete the day of judgment, according to the level of the world and the spiritual level of each person. In 2023, the predicted sacred signs manifested themselves from 7 tables. The equilateral cross, the hexagon, and the 8-pointed star, which is composed of them. With the manifestation of the 8-pointed star, the frequencies of the new world penetrated even more strongly, and are gradually displacing the frequencies of the old world, both in the souls and in the entire planetary system. Lower souls, who are treading water, and are on the side of darkness with their godlessness, indifference and disunity, are unable to absorb the new frequencies. They begin to get stupider with each passing day, because the old frequencies can no longer maintain their former intellectual level. The clues provided by the revealed secrets of the sacred signs are an additional help for doubting people to recognize the exam time that has arrived, so that they can develop their consciousness in time, and side with the light by uniting against the inhumans, who are leading the world into the abyss. At the exam time, everyone is faced with the choice between darkness and light, between dust and eternity. But the inhumans are hurrying. Their actions are currently overtaking the awakening of humanity. When the world reaches the point of no return, there will be no turning back. So wake up, and start acting according to your conscience now. Arm yourselves with love, and concern for the future of your children, your country and the whole world. At the same time, the slower the unification of humans against the inhumans, and their influence on the world progresses, the more frequent and stronger natural disasters occur. This is not a punishment for the world, but an aid to accelerate the action of humans to unite in the final battle for their souls. For the new frequencies are also changing the structure of the planetary system, so that only through unification is it possible to free oneself from the shackles of the inhumans, in order to create a technical facility, called the fulcrum mechanism, through the joint efforts of all countries, with the help of which it is possible to prevent natural disasters and the imminent pole shift of the Earth. Then the transition will be smooth. Otherwise, earthquakes, floods, fires and wars will increase and become more frequent. The degree of peace will determine the outcome of the last judgment. There are just a few inhumane beings stand at the pinnacle of power over the world. They are no longer truly human, but rather humanoid enemies of humanity. Their power grows in proportion to the division of mankind. This small group of inhumane beings, who consider themselves the rulers of the world, issue commands that are carried out by numerous exceedingly low souls. These commands are then followed by immature souls, who blindly adhere to the harmful and toxic rule, orders are not discussed, but carried out. There are hundreds of thousands of them. They sit at the top levers of small, middle and upper levels of government in all countries. They are the last link in the chain of influence of a small group of rogues. But even in this last link, more and more are beginning to awaken, and shake off the influence of magic from the epicenter of evil. And they can already see the abyss into which a band of inhumans is leading the world. This band of inhumans promises a new world for a billion chosen ones, and with this promise, they are trying to increase their influence over the perpetrators of the conspiracy against humanity. They do not realize that the Almighty is allowing their attempt to maintain the conditions under which people can choose between darkness and light. This is the exam time. The 7 sacred tables will begin to reveal their secrets, including new technologies, and the world will change so much that diseases will disappear, lifespans will be significantly extended, and the system of organisms will change, not only in humans, but also in animals and plants. Everything will happen gradually. There will definitely not be a billion chosen ones, and for those who do not pass the exam, there will be no continuation of life. Instead, there will be a transition from the old world to the new world for those who are worthy of continuing on this path. However, if people continue with their daily affairs, turn away from current events, and ignore the revealed book, hoping for politicians, other people, or that everything will resolve itself, catastrophes, disasters, wars, and diseases will increase and occur more frequently. This will increasingly give people the opportunity to realize that they are bringing about these conditions through their disunity, indifference, and laziness. I address the servants of all religions. Be mature in your minds, and take up your direct duty. Stand up for the protection of the people. Stop calling for submission and patience, when darkness begins to chip people, as if they were livestock. If you had true faith, you would stop all wars in 3 days. There are thousands of you, and you are obliged, truly obliged, to stand together between the Russian and Ukrainian, Israeli and Palestinian guns, sending the officers and soldiers home. They will listen to you, because by this act, this spiritual feat, you will show yourselves to be true priests of the Almighty. What prevents you from acting as your duty commands? Slain children look at you with reproach. Feel the great joy in your soul from a deed pleasing to God. Unite against war, becoming priests to the nations, and cease to be agreeable to the enemies of civilization. Stop lying the people about the name under which the messenger will come, the family he will come from, and what he will look like. Stop lying that Jesus was crucified, that he is a slain lamb, and that he will open the prophesied book. If you are not spiritually weak, what other than your godlessness prevents you from clearly understanding the Scriptures? Did the Bible say that Jesus was a slain lamb? Does it say that Jesus opened the book? Do you not know that it has been the custom in many nations since ancient times to place the head of a slaughtered lamb on the table as a dish of honor? Doesn't the Bible say that the head of John the Baptist was served on a plate at Herod's table? Stop listening to the heresies of the Vatican, which has never been a temple of God, but has always worshipped darkness. If you are not blind in mind, do you not see in the main conference hall of the Vatican the image of a serpent with an open mouth, at which stands a podium? In front of the podium, there is a large hall of godless people in robes, some speaking from the serpent's mouth, the symbol of darkness, and others listening to it. The majority of you live by the rule: orders are not to be discussed, but carried out. This rule is for humanoid animals, not for rational people. Wake up. Turn to God, accepting the Creator's gift to fulfill His will for salvation, through unity against darkness. I am telling you this, the Forerunner, who has revealed the book by the will of the Almighty. If you do not listen to me again, you will lose the last chance for salvation. This is the same time. With you or without you, we will win this final battle. We are billions, and most of us are bright souls. We will pass the exam, because we are with God, and God is with us. At the beginning of the book, there is an article. Pay utmost attention to every line, because this article is the door to understanding the contents of the book, the door to understanding the Almighty's purpose in revealing the book, for what purpose to examine the internal structure of the 7 tables, and what needs to be done to fulfill God's will. You can download this book for free or read it in many languages online, translated by the efforts of my comrades, who have stood by me, and are now spreading this message to the entire world. Wake up. Turn to God, accepting the Creator's gift to fulfill His will for salvation, through unity against darkness.